Hi, welcome to this case study video. So in this video, as you would have seen on the page that you opted in, that we're going to be talking about a campaign that I ran for a client of mine. And to be fair, it's actually a partnership with anyone that I work with. What we actually ended up doing was getting 1,000 martial arts leads in under 10 weeks. And this is an awesome case study. Really, really happy to bring this in front of you. In a second, you're going to see a quick video that's actually just going to show exactly the guy that I'm talking about, and you'll see how true this is.
Come out of COVID, and we were on 294 members out of COVID. We were on 160, I think it was, just the week before COVID come. I've been doing the TAP system now for 10 weeks. We got 10 weeks, 11 weeks, but I've got the 10 weeks results here in front of me. So in that 10 weeks from coming back from COVID, when no one's got any money, no one can build. So we had 551 leads turn up to the dojos to and fill out an inquiry form. That's not, I would say, no word of a lie, we probably had 1,000 leads fill out an inquiry or comment to us on our Facebook advertising over the 10 weeks. We actually had 551 leads turn up to the dojo and fill out a form to say, yes, I'm here. So what I would call a super hot qualified lead. 541 of those tried the class, and we joined 432 people in 10 weeks.
Awesome. So you've just seen the actual bit that Richard has just mentioned about what the actual results were. Now, don't worry, that video is actually an interview that I did with Richard, and it's going to be right at the end of this presentation. So please hang around, because we talked about a lot more different strategies and mindset and all sorts of stuff as to how he got this awesome result, what campaign we ran, and what it was really, how did it actually come through. And what I'm going to actually do with you right now, just so you know, is I'm going to actually break it down. It's actually a system that I've been developing for over the past 4 years. It's probably longer, because I've been into digital marketing for about 10 years now. And this system's been honed in really for the fitness market, and I took it even further for the martial arts niche. Quick background about me. I know some people know me in this industry, but I know there's a lot of people that don't. About me, I've got a digital marketing agency, and I also have a coaching and consultancy, which I do with martial arts schools. And Richard approached me for consulting him and taking him through my coaching program. And this is how we developed this actual TAP system well, we didn't develop it, but basically we ran the TAP system for him, and it just got these amazing results. Now, the TAP system itself, I'm going to actually share my screen and go into details as to what it is and what it stands for and how does it work, and you know, basically the ins and outs of it. And I'm really, really excited that you're on here, because I know you're going to get a lot of value. This has been tested with over 90 martial arts school owners, and every single one has had amazing results with this. And also, in general, I've worked with over 200 businesses, really. So this is something that I've been doing for a long time, kind of honed it in properly, and this system really just works very, very well. So if you're trying to get leads online, you're trying to get Facebook to work, basically this system works very, very well for Facebook lead generation. And yes, I get it. You'll be looking at that figure and going, either two things you'll be thinking: 1,000 leads. Firstly, you'll think that you don't believe it. Secondly, how many of them actually signed up? Because at the end of the day, it's not about the leads, which I completely agree with. Anyone can get you leads. There's loads. I've had marketing agencies for my first business promise me everything for leads. I did get leads, but I never signed anyone up. So this is why I'm so passionate about this, because this is not just a system that just gets you leads. It gets you high quality leads that sign up. Out of this 400 odd, you'll see this in the interview straight at the end of this, where Richard actually says this, what it is. I'm pretty sure he said about 430. I think it's 437, but yeah, 430 turned into members. Now, that is an amazing result. I get it. I know it is as well, because 430 is life-changing for anyone. You know, that's a lot of people that I generally speak to, they don't really want thousand leads. They just want 20 to 30 members per month. But the thing is about having that consistency, and this is why I know the system works so well, because it does give you that consistency and predictability that you need every single month. Now I know Richard can like literally replicate this campaign again and again, and maybe I personally 1,000 leads, because this was through lockdown and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people were online. I don't know, maybe it's going to be a bit less than that, but still getting something like this kind of figure in any kind of business, any kind of school, any fitness school either, and especially martial arts, it's going to be a big difference. So enough talking from me about this. You're going to see the video later on anyway. Bottom of this page, you're going to see loads more testimonials. There's a place for you to book a call with me if you want to just skip straight to that and not bother watching this. There is a way, just book a call. It'll be with me or one of my team members, and we'll just take you through and exactly have a look exactly what you're doing and how you can help, how you can get more members into your school. So without further ado, let me quickly get into this. I'm just going to quickly share my screen, and you should be able to see this in a second. So this is my screen here, and as usual, the computer doesn't want to do when I want it to do something. Well, we'll go with this anyway. So TAP system. This is the system I've been developing for 4 years, and it gets 30 to 50 new members consistently every single month. Now, what does it actually stand for? It stands for how do you target, how do you acquire, and how do you promote. Why this works so well is because it's a very trackable system, and you know exactly how much you're spending. I get it. Most of the times, most people are just boosting things. They're not exactly sure if it worked or not. This system tells you exactly that. And one of the really good things about this is that this is proven. You can see this at the bottom of this video on this page. You'll see there's so many testimonials. This is a proven system, and it's very measurable, which is the biggest thing. Now, I'm not going to bore you and go through all these testimonials, because you can see them at the bottom and you can watch these. But I'm just showing you here just now quickly, just to show that it does actually work. And also, there's another reason. So Ivan, quite a few people know him in the industry. He's got quite a lot of members. He's using this system itself. I've consulted him quite a few times, and we've implemented this for his place. It works very well. Ed down south in Cornwall, he has about 800 odd, and I know he's opened his second location. He's using the same system as well. Ricky, he's also another person. He's had amazing results with this, and he's also opening his second one. You can see there's a little pattern with this. And then Barry is someone that came with me. He had 60 students, and then now he took it. I know he took it to much more than that. So why I'm showing you these different case studies here, these different testimonials as well, is firstly, yes, to prove that it works. Secondly, is to show you that these size schools are different. So I get it. Not every school owner wants just like this, 1,000 leads. They just want something just there that they know that there's none of that anxiety at the end of each month going, oh, if I got new members coming in or not. This is exactly what Barry had, in the sense where he just wanted consistent leads. That's all he wanted. His video is awesome. You should watch it. It's going to be at the bottom of this on this page. He goes through a lot of numbers as well with it. But just going through this kind of system helps you, it works so well that you just have leads coming through all the time. And I'm going to explain how it works now. Now, there's actually 7 steps to this process. And you'll notice this kind of system is very similar to what larger businesses do. And what it is, let me go through the first one. Now, this first one, very important. I can't emphasize how important this is. Customer research sounds very simple, but it makes a big difference. What we're trying to do is find out their needs, fears, wants, and goals. What are these 4 things? These are emotional things. Very important. This is the reason why someone takes action. It's not because of all the stats. It's literally, does it emotionally move them? And this is the kind of stuff that we go through and help you get from your current members and your new ones. So this is the building blocks. So imagine you're building a house. That foundation is the most important. Let me quickly come to myself here. This is really important. So the foundation of your house, obviously, that's very important. I call that like customer research. It's understanding yeah, basically marketing, and then knowing the actual, what do people, why do people actually come to you? Very, very important. This is like each area reacts very differently. Like the ones I just showed you a minute ago, you've got Ivan who's in Liverpool, Ed down south in Cornwall. I ran ads in both places. Both ads did not work in the same place. Why is this? Because we found from the customer research that people's values and why they actually come to you is very, very different. Like people in Liverpool are very different to people down south, you know, so it's very, very important to get this stuff dialed in straight at the start, because this will make things so much easier when you start building your campaigns and everything along them lines. Now, let me get back to this screen for you. Once we do the customer research, what we end up doing, I use this as an analogy really. It's like without customer research, you're pointing and shooting the wrong way. Like what you want to be doing with this is having, once you've done your customer research, in the TAP system itself, we teach it in the sense where it's very easy to write these ads, but I want you to get so much value from this, is that what we actually do is take exactly what the customer research is and put it in for word in the Facebook ad. Just works so well, because this is exactly what people have told you that is the biggest meaning for them, why they come to you. So we put that in. And of course, one of the beauties about Facebook advertising is its targeting. You know, you can be very specific with, like, saying if you're doing a women's only kickboxing campaign or something like that, or even a men's only campaign, you can target specifically on certain age groups. You cannot do this in any other form of advertising, like the magazines, billboards, if you use billboards, flyers, I think it's just like waste of money these days. I would rather someone invest money into this, because your return's going to be so much more bigger. But you can't do this with other forms of old school marketing, the way I call it, where it's like, I call it hope marketing, because you're hoping it gets in front of the right person. But when you can utilize the online features that we have these days, which is a gold mine, you can be very specific as to who sees your advert. Now, one of the next things that we end up doing is after the ad, we send someone to like a landing page. We also utilize a lot of the Facebook internal features, like the messenger option. They have the conversions option, all sorts of different things in there. They have the lead form option. That lead generation works really well as well. So what we end up doing is that instead of just boosting ads, we actually send someone to like a little form. On the form itself, we are just saying, hey, gives your name, email, phone number, if you're interested in this offer. If they're not interested, they're just going to go away and not give you the details. Now, why is this powerful? This is really powerful because you are getting their details right from the start. You're not having to be sitting there in Messenger all day, which I know a lot of people do, because there's a lot of back and forth going. And then at the end of the day, you just want their phone number to find out if they're coming or not, if they're even interested. What this does, eliminates all that, and you get their details straight away. Now you just, you'll see in a second how this is so powerful. Now, after getting their details, we go to like another page, which is the thank you page. On this, we go through, okay, generally people just say, thank you, that's it. What we end up utilizing as well sometimes is having there like an offer, saying, hey, if you're interested, let's add another 14 days free, or hey, give you an ebook. You can drive people to give you a ring rather than you having to chase everyone. It's not going to be everyone, but the 20-30% of people that will do this, go and take up that second offer, you know, they're really, really good buyers, and they're going to be hot buyers, really. So now this next bit is the notification side. This is very, very powerful. Now, when you have a Facebook ad and someone fills it out and they go through the process, let me just come on here quickly. So when someone has when someone fills out the Facebook ad, what will happen on your end is that you will get a text message on your phone with their name, email, phone number. Now, what also happens is the customer also gets a text message saying, hey, look, we're going to be contacting you within 24 hours. Please expect a call from us. What has this done? This has actually made them understand that there is something going to happen next after they filled out the form. Secondly, when you ring them, it's not a cold call. It's actually a warm call. Every time I've done this with all my clients, they've always said, yeah, whenever they ring someone, the person on the side is really happy that you've rang, and they also say, oh yeah, I've been expecting your phone call. So it becomes really powerful when you do it this way, because when you can actually show people, hey, look, they get a text message and they go, yes, someone's going to be calling them, really makes a big difference, because it's a touch point. When you have that first touch point, and also your end, it's very, I'm going to go back to this slide again. I'm just quickly pulling up another piece that I forgot to, but it's just, let me get this open. Yeah. So what I want to also show you is, very, very important is this. When you can actually call the lead within 15 minutes, that is the ideal time. I get it. You'll be running classes. Sometimes you can't do this. I always say to everyone, just outsource it, get someone else to do it. But because that first text gets to the person, they're kind of already expecting a call within 24 hours. So it's not too bad. But if you want the biggest success with this, if you can ring them within like 15, 20 minutes, you're going to get them on the call, just because they literally just filled out that form. They're emotionally on a high level. So they're going to actually say, yes, really excited to come in. Once they commit, they're going to come up. Your show up rate is going to be a lot higher. So now, you remember right at the start of this, I mentioned about doing a case study. This is a case study. Doing the tracking. Now, the tracking side, this is an example. This is something that I ran. I'm gonna quickly go through this because it is information of other people. I don't want this to. I'll see. I need to blur this out in the actual recording. But what this is a tracking sheet. This is a kickboxing campaign that we ran, and we had 190 odd leads, and this was for adults. A lot of people say adults are very hard to get. No, they're not with this system, because it's all about that customer research and the ad doing the work. Here is where you can look at this and go, okay, this is a campaign that I ran. I spent £200-300 on ads, worked really well. Let me see how many people showed up. Okay, let me see how many bought. You can track this kind of stuff. Now, either you will go, okay, this was a great campaign, let's rerun it and put more money on it. Or what also happens, which happens quite a lot, is that you would have these kind of orange, red bits, whichever color you want to do. You can see, okay, we've had loads of leads come in. It's not the leads amount. Okay, it's the actual bit of, there is some problem here. Where is the problem? Okay, it's a follow-up process. We need to add another text in. We need to add something in. And then when you rerun the campaign, you get a lot less. So this is how you can start measuring, and you'll know exactly if the campaigns have worked or not. When you outsource this kind of stuff as well, which I highly recommend, you don't want to be doing everything yourself, is you can look at this as a business owner and go, okay, you can keep an eye on stuff without you going in the ads manager, without you going in Messenger and trying to figure this stuff out. So this brings it really, this makes it really powerful. Now, this bit here, the date, name, email, phone number, as soon as that lead comes in, when that text message happens to you, this automatically gets filled up as well. So you don't need to spend time going in there, downloading and putting the stuff in individually, because that takes time as well. So really, really powerful, the notification side. Now, next thing I want to go through is basically, this is one of the really important stuff that people generally don't talk about. What is that? I mean, hopefully you just quickly saw that. LTV means lifetime value of the customer. You need to know this kind of stuff when you're doing advertising online. What is lifetime value? Lifetime value is when you work out, on average, people say they're charging about £50 a month, or I know there's some schools that do more, some do less. Let's go in the middle, £50. Then you times, and I know there's a reflection of that, of the light, apologies, but I'm hoping you can see this okay. 50 times it by, the question to you here is, how long on average do people stick around with you? Like once they sign up, how long are they for? I know most people say at least a year, or I know generally is a lot more than that. But if we've picked a year, you're literally saying 12. That's 12 months or 24 months, whichever. When you work that out, you will actually figure out what is your lifetime value of a customer. On average, whenever I spoke to people, when you add in, the any other sales that you get, you know, your gradings and all this kind of stuff. You know, you'll be selling like products and things to them. I know on average it's about £1,000 per customer, really. So when you look at this, so if we say 1,000, I know that doesn't equal 1,000, but I know on average, just to make numbers a bit easier, on average, I know it's £1,000 per customer. Now, why is this important? Because when you run ads, you need to keep this in your mind that every time you sign someone up, it's actually worth £1,000 to you. Now, in your mindset, you can actually now go, okay, £200, £300 of that, I'm happy to reinvest in ads. When you can do it in this kind of way, you're not going to be, you will have this little flywheel effect in your business, in your school, where you will just suddenly get loads of more traction, and you're basically giving yourself permission to invest more in ads. And investing is very, very important. Otherwise, you won't get that traction you want, and you will always be behind and just not doing that thing. Because sometimes we don't look at the actual value, because if someone sticks around for like quite a while, you sign 10 people up, it's actually worth 10 grand, really. So take a couple of grand, put it in the ads, and then you will see that you'll be in such a good place, and you'll get so many leads and everything working. This is exactly what we did with Richards. This is what I said, was like, look, invest some more, and this is how we create that little flywheel, and that's how we got 1,000 leads come in. So very quick point I wanted to go through over there with you. Now, this is just something that I just drop in every time just to make things a bit more, I know there's quite a lot of stuff in here. So I know most people know who she is. If you don't, let me quickly give you a quick background. She's been on reality TV for the past 14 years. Most people know her. I always ask people this whenever I'm on calls with people, like, what does she sell? It's a bit of a trick question, really. She sells all sorts of different things, like products and all sorts of things, but people buy into who she is. They know her story. This is why people, I'm sure you'll agree, that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Now, she obviously has a big following. People know her. Now, what we end up doing is we incorporate this in emails. So as soon as that lead comes through, the first few emails is your stories about yourself. People get to see who you are, why you do what you do. Knowing someone's why is very, very important. Like my why is that I just don't want any business to go through what I did, which was having that anxiety and because it is crippling when you don't know when your next customer is coming or anything along them lines. And this is how I developed this system. There's a lot more to my story, which I'm sure you'll get to find out soon, because one of the things that I'm going to cover in a second is that you will start seeing a lot of my ads is retargeting and things like that, which is one thing that I skipped. I just really need to go over. But understanding someone's why is very important. And we put this in the emails. And then when people can read this, each email has a booking link in there and becomes very, very powerful. So this is where you can start getting automatic bookings coming in. So intro, story, background, basically we go through, they get 5 emails, not in one shot, each one day after another. And ROAS basically means return on ad spend. Basically what that means is email marketing is not dead. It works very, very well. And a lot of people skip this. So when you have all of this stuff working together, it creates an ecosystem. So these are like the 7 steps. I'm going to cover about retargeting in a second because I seem to have skipped a slide. But whenever I speak to anyone, most people have just done one thing out of the 7, which is the Facebook ads. You know, so when you have all of this connected up and it's just working in sync, it's just so powerful. You just end up getting really good quality leads. You get people signing up, which is the main thing, and you don't have to worry about leads anymore. Now, let me quickly get back to the bit I skipped over. Now, one of the things that we also do is we test a lot of images. And this is a very important step when you're doing ads, is don't, like, if I give you an example, there's a campaign that I did where, let me explain it here. There's a campaign that I did where both had the same ad copy on both, but same offer. One had an image of a kid kicking, the other one had an image of an instructor with the image smiling, looking at the camera. First one got 3 leads. The other one got 30, 30 leads. There's so much difference. That was just because of the image. So testing images is very, very important. One of the big clever things with Facebook is that they want you to be spending money with them so that that's how they make money, but they give you amazing tools. What you can do is you can input 6, 7 different images in there. Facebook automatically tests it for you and then put some money on the one that's converting the best automatically without you doing anything. Now, this other thing here, retargeting, I'm not sure if you've heard of this phrase before, but let me explain what it is. I'm sure you would have experienced this. If you go on Amazon or eBay, you look at a product, you see that thing following you around everywhere. You're like, wow, I was just looking at this. That is retargeting. It's basically a piece of code that Facebook and all the social media platforms give you. Why this works is that I'm sure you would have heard this phrase in sales. They say you need 7 to 11 touch points before someone buys. Retargeting is shortens that gap. Now, the clever way I use retargeting and the way the TAP system's been developed is that I start showing you educational stuff, testimonials. How to use this for yourself is that you would show what your dojo looks like. You would show testimonials. You would show who you are. Now, incorporate this with the email stuff that I was just talking about. People will see you everywhere. They'll see you in email. They'll see you on the ads. You know, you're coming everywhere. You'll come on little articles as well sometimes with the retargeting, the way Facebook has. So I am pretty sure since you come into my funnel, my interworld, you will now be seeing a lot of my ads. And I'm hoping they don't come across spammy or anything, because that's not the intention. It's just to prove to you and to earn your business and to show you that this system is something that I use even for myself. So I'm pretty sure you would have seen some ads by now. If you haven't, you will be seeing some. So pre-warn you, but they're good content. So, you know, I actually teach you stuff on them. So just to show you that this stuff works basically. So let me quickly go back to this. I don't want to make this video too long for you because I know you're busy. These are the 7 steps. You have this set up. You're going to be doing really, really well for yourself. And this has been tested with over 90 schools already. Yeah, I'd be very, very honored and happy to speak to you about this. Either myself or one of my team members will talk you through the system, actually show you what bits you could be doing. Book a call with me. There'll be a link below. Just book a call. We'll have a talk through this. There's no cost for this call. And then we'll see where it goes. You know, in the day, if we're not the right fit, then it's no problem at all. But if we are, which is very highly likely because I've done this with so many schools, you know, this is a game changer, really, to be honest. So I'm going to stop talking now because I'm hoping you got enough value with this system and you actually understand the system now. Now I'm going to quickly chop to the interview because I'm pretty sure you'll be wanting to see that and actually hear from someone else that has got this kind of result. I hope you enjoy this, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. Please do book a call with me because I want to help. You know, in the day, this is a system that's working very, very well now, and it doesn't matter what stage you are. I know the country now keeps going lockdown, not lockdown. This works for both things because I've used this for Zoom classes as well, and it worked really well. One of my clients signed up 50 new members from it. And obviously offline wise, this is just getting ridiculous results. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because I've talked enough, and I'm hoping you can see that I can help you. Book that call, and I'm going to chop straight to that interview, and I hope you enjoy this. And thank you for watching this for so long, and I hope you got value from it. Thanks. So everyone, welcome to this interview / case study. We're going to be going over talking about the TAP system, and we'll be introducing to this lovely person here in a second. And just kind of, I want this to be more of a very educational piece as well as showing you what kind of results you can get when you get your marketing on point and basically have a system rather than having something where you're just constantly in the rut and like what some people describe like the hamster wheel. So every business goes through this. I did, you know, but when you have a system, it just makes life so much easier. But let me introduce you to Richard. What's your name, Richard? Where are you from?
Hi guys. Yeah, Richard Canton. I teach Canton martial arts. We're down in the southeast coast, so Canton is Sussex. We have one full-time center and 5 satellite schools. And yeah, we predominantly teach karate. Karate is our main sport, but at the full-time center, we also have ladies kickboxing and Thai boxing. We've just started jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu there as well. But you know, I would say 90% of what we do in all the satellite schools, it is just the karate stuff that we do.
Brilliant. So how long have you been doing it for?
30 years now. I've been, 30 years. I quit my daytime job in 1995, and I've been teaching since then, really.
Wow, I would have been. I'm not going to say my age, but yeah, it's like, but yeah, just just no, that's a long time. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, look, you know, you've been doing this for a long time as well, which is awesome. It shows, you know, that you know this space pretty well, and obviously you wouldn't be going for so long if you weren't good at what you did. So, so coming back to, like, people will be wondering, because they would have seen like this crazy headline and everything. Is it actually true? But before we get into the results and everything, so the system's called the TAP system, and just for people to know, it stands for Target, Acquire, and Promote. And obviously, there's quite a few things behind it. Now, how did you hear about this system? Where were you before it? What did you hear? What intrigued you, really, would you say?
So, long story short, so we were doing fairly well before COVID. COVID come in, and we lost like 160, 170 members, bang, overnight like that. So I'm sitting here thinking, geez, when we come back, we've got to explode. We've actually got to do something. And then I had seen you on a few of the mastermind guys, and a couple of the guys that I know had mentioned you, and I saw like Ricky Lamb did an interview with you. And I saw Ty did an interview with you, and a couple of other guys that I knew from around the area. And I sort of thought, well, hang on a second. If I know them, they're a smart guy. If they're doing this, then it might not be so bad. And what I did do then is I actually rang them. I said, hey, you know, you've been doing the TAP system with Swap Milk, right? Is it good? What do you do? And all that kind of. And so I basically rang a couple of guys, and just to confirm, because everyone's going to look at this and think it's just rubbish. Oh yeah, sure, make believe type thing. You know, oh, it's not, you know. But so I rang a couple of guys and just sort of said, you know, what's happening and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, it's great. This is what we do. This is how what I've been doing. This is what my investment was. It was like, fab. Okay, no problem at all. You know, so I knew everything coming in, so I didn't come in blind. And it was like, you know what, that was the missing ingredient that we've been looking for the last 2, 3, 5 years, is a marketing guru or a marketing person that can actually steer us in the right direction. Because it's all right, people telling you to use Facebook marketing and telling you to use this and do that and do all that kind of stuff. You know, but if you don't, you know, we've been using it, but not very well. We don't really know. You know, I'm an expert at martial arts, but I'm not an expert at this. And to find someone like yourself as an expert at this, it's like, right, well, let's employ this guy to help us turn our business around. And then once COVID came and we were, you know, like I said, down about 160, 170 members, it was like, okay, now's the time. We need to bounce back. We need to bounce back hard, because the martial arts, you know, everyone's broke. You know, all the martial arts guys. I think I know 14 martial arts schools that have closed down.
Wow.
You know, so it was just like one of those ones where it's just, and I've got staff, I've got guys relying on me to pay their wages and to make money. So it's like, okay, it's time to invest. It's time to step up to the big leagues. And so, yeah, that's why I made the phone calls. And then as soon as I just sent you a message, and it was a bit of reach out, like, okay, yeah, I'm up for it. Let's get going. Met up over Zoom, and I was like, okay, yeah. And, you know, the good thing is I knew what was going to happen beforehand, because I'd made all the phone calls. And you're like, do you want to do it? I'm like, yep, I'm in. All right, do you want to think about it? No, I'm already in. I've already joined. I want to do it. So let's just go.
I'm so happy you did take that leap of faith, isn't it? At the end of the day, I know with anything, when people, I've done this even for my own learnings and stuff, you know, you have to make an investment to like learn some stuff, but it is that little bridge, isn't it, where you go, okay, let's take that step. And I'm so glad that you did. So
yeah, cheers, buddy. And I think it's quite difficult as well, especially because COVID. So everyone's sort of guarding the pennies that they've got. And it is a hefty investment, but to get massive results, you've got to put massive action in. And I think it was just like the hefty investment which I paid. Now I've tripled that money easily. But at first you just sit there and think, oh, I've got to hand over the card. It's like, but best thing I ever did, really. But it's that, do I do this? Am I about to make a right thing as you're handing over that card? And but I think, like you say, you've got to take that leap of faith at some point.
So, like, before you got in, like, what would you say was what were you struggling with? What had you tried? What wasn't working? Why did you even have to take this step, would you say, like, to get to into this?
Yeah, so we'd obviously done boost posts. We could boost posts all the time. We were getting, one image up, and you'd boost it out, and you'd get a few leads come in. Another boost post. We didn't do like lead gen forms. We didn't do anything like this at all, like to gather information. We were sort of just doing what now I look at, I think we're probably doing 10% of Facebook's capabilities to be able to get people in. Still doing leaflets, school runs, all that kind of stuff, which is great. I think it's great. We've always done really well. If someone come in, generally 80% of those people are going to join and stay for a while. So we had no problem in getting, once they're through the door, we were fairly confident that what we did was, was good quality. They got good service. They had all that kind of stuff. But what we struggled with was, we were growing. We've been growing for the last 5, 6, 7 years, because growing 10% each year, growing 10% each year. But what we struggled with was getting more numbers in the door. And it's like, how can we get 20 people a month in? How can we get 30 people a month in? Now we're getting 20 people in a week, 20 people in a day, and so it's just madness. And it's one of those ones where, okay, this is where we were struggling is getting people to actually step through the door, targeting the right people, targeting the right person to make that step, to get them, and educating them. Like I didn't even think about that. Educating them through targeting to get them to come down to the classes, because once they're a class, all the guys watching this, either they're all going to be good martial artists, they're all going to be good at what they do, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So if they do taekwondo, karate, kickboxing, whatever, they're obviously going to be very, very good guys. And they're probably in the similar position as me, is that once people come down and see how good they are, and that most martial artists are good people, most martial artists have good stuff, they're going to join. If they're going to all probably be a bit like me, just not able to get enough leads or enough good quality people coming through the door.
What would you say to someone like, because quite a few people are going to see this video. I mean, obviously quite a lot are going to be martial arts, but there are also going to be people that do group classes, which is similar to you, which is like yoga, Pilates, and mainly fitness people generally.
Yeah.
Would you say that it would work for them as well?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I've actually been talking to my brother about this, and he lives in Canada. In America now, and he runs a retreat business. And it's a bit like, look, so this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do these types of things and stuff like that as well. So he's looking at investing also to be able to get his retreat business up and running, because it's the same sort of thing, whether it be a retreat business, a counseling business. You can use this system. That's the beautiful thing about it. And being part of the group that we're in, it's like, I think I saw like there was a dog handler or football. One of the football lads was in there doing it for the kids' football. Brilliant. It doesn't have to be martial arts. Most guys will know me from the martial arts industry. But if I was, let's say I was into the retreat business or football or anything like that, or you could definitely use this system 100%, because it's just a transferable skill. If I was to do anything in my life other than this, I would still be able to use the skills that I've learned from this and just transfer and do exactly the same thing to generate those leads in the people coming forward, really.
Exactly. I mean, it's like a local business generally. I think just for people listening, like this TAP system was developed from working with a lot of fitness businesses. So yogas, Pilates, mindset coaches as well, and obviously martial arts. So it's a really good system for people that want to get customers through the door. So it works really well, because the process is the same. It's just a few things you need to change. So I just wanted to clarify, because there will be a few people watching and going, okay, you've got a martial arts place, probably won't work for me, but it's the system's the same really end of the day.
I totally agree. And I think, like I said, I'm talking about my brother, and he's looking to invest in America with the retreat business, because he can understand and see how he goes, well, you guys are blowing it up. What's going on? What are you doing? Well, I've actually employed a Facebook marketing guru. He's showing me this and this and this. Like, what are you doing? How are you doing that? And showing him certain bits and pieces. He's like, right, I need to get onto that guy. He's, that's what I need to do with my bits and pieces and stuff like that. So, and he's looking at, and he has nothing to do with martial arts at all. It's just literally our retreat business. And he can see how what we're doing is completely transferable to him, and that's in America as well.
Brilliant. So let's before we go into what exactly the TAP system is, let's tell people what results you got. So right. what kind of results have you had from implementing this, really?
So let's get the bits of paper. Okay. So we've come out of COVID, and we're on 294 members out of COVID. We were on 160, I think it was, just the week before COVID come. I've been doing the TAP system now for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, 11 weeks, but I've got the 10 weeks results here in front of me. So in that 10 weeks from coming back from COVID, when no one's got any money, no one can build. So we had 551 leads turn up to the dojos to and fill out an inquiry form. That's not, I would say, no word of a lie, we probably had 1,000 leads fill out an inquiry or comment to us on our Facebook advertising over the 10 weeks. We actually had 551 leads turn up to the dojo and fill out a form to say, yes, I'm here. So what I would call a super hot qualified lead. 541 of those tried the class, and we joined 432 people in 10 weeks.
Wow.
Madness. So out of those 541 that actually turned up, 432 of those joined, which is fab. And now we are on, so we went from 294 active count. We're now on 629 active count. So we've doubled the size of the business in 11 weeks.
Wow.
In the club in 11 weeks.
That's brilliant. That's crazy growth as well. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that as well. That actual figures, I've not heard it in that kind of way. So it's really, really good. I mean, that's so like the beauty of this is that, like you've had about, I know it's 1,000 probably plus leads really, but like say 1,000 leads. The thing is, a lot of people would leave them and just keep carrying. And the way we've got this system building up and stuff we're going to be doing more as well, utilizing all of them. So I won't be surprised within the next like 3 to 4 weeks, it goes much higher quickly as well again. So,
and that's the thing, we haven't even hit the retargeting stuff. This is just pure, like the pure cold stuff. We haven't even started. We've been working together about the retargeting and what's the next 90 days. We set the goal for the 90 days. I remember when I first started, I saw one guy, he had 294 leads or something in 30 days. I was like, what? That's ridiculous. And I thought, and so in my mind, as a martial artist, I'm competitive. I thought, right, I want to beat that. If I can get that, and we've smashed past that and then some. And so in the 90 days, I'm sitting there thinking, where can we get in 90 days? And then after 90 days, we can then start the retargeting of those bits that we've done in the last 90 days. And so we haven't even done, we've only been doing the first bit. We haven't even started all the information that we've been collecting and making all the little folders and stuff like that, which Swap will show you. I'm not going to tell you all about now. Which Swap will show you, but making all those folders and all those systems in the back end, that in 90 days time, we can then retarget and re-get these people here. Then they're already warm. That's going to increase our numbers once again.
Oh. So what would, that's so good to hear. But I mean, like, what would you say, what has the TAP system actually helped you with? Like, if you was to say, like, in the, like, a few points about it.
Yeah. So, one, how to write copy. I always thought I could write copy. Well, I could write some copy, but not properly. Two, the TAP system then showed me like Ad Manager. I used to open up Ad Manager and click the button and think, oh, crap, where do what if I press that one? What if I press that one? Oh, no. And I've been taught by other martial arts mastermind groups and other stuff how to use it, but not to the finite information that you would sort of say, no, let's check this part, let's check that part. No, let's put these bits on here. Let's get these 4 adverts on that. Then they can generate this type of thing. And I didn't have a clue about any of that. And I'm not a tech savvy guy, but I understand it and stuff like that. But there was stuff I actually thinking, wow, I didn't even have a clue. And like the back end and getting all the messaging and stuff like that to come to us directly and populate forms and all this sort of stuff, that I didn't have a clue about. And here I am 10 weeks later, and I'm able to set up an ad, set up forms, set up all these things using the copy and stuff like that we go over. And the thing I like about it as well is I'll send you a copy for one of my ads, and you'll be like, no, let's check that out, let's change that, let's go from there, right, let's try this bit, let's try that bit. And because I think having an expert look at your stuff and say, no, we need to change that, because as martial artists, quite often we don't, or anyone, we think what we're doing is a good job, but you got to think what does the marketing expert say? And so that for me is where the tap system is actually able to, like, I've learned so much how to use that Facebooking and Ad Manager and all that kind of stuff, which is great, really.
I've got to give you massive credit as well. To be fair, you picked it up pretty quickly. It's so awesome to see you can. I'll be like, yeah, ad looks great, and you'll just go and smash out like 6-7 ads. And this
I think the biggest one I did, I think I messaged you and I said, right, I'm going to go and do some ads now. I think I messaged you at like 9 o'clock at night. Like, yeah, I've just done 13 lead gen ads in the last 7 hours. He's like, what the heck? And, because it's just like, right now, I want to do an advert for that. I want to do an advert for that. I want to try this. I want to try that. And I think having that confidence from yourself in me to be able to sort of say, look, man, what you're doing right is there. And it made me realize, okay, yeah, I need to step up my game if I want to step up the club's game, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest worries or things people have when I spoke to them is they always think, oh, I'm not tech savvy enough to do Facebook ads, or it's the same. When I looked in the Business Manager first time, I was like, it's like a spaceship. But once you know a few little things, you don't need to know everything, because some of the stuff in there is more inclined for people that are selling like online products, but we don't really need to know about that. It's, if you've got a local business or like a dojo or a fitness studio of any kind, you only need to know certain things. And I think that's where you picked it up pretty quickly, which was great. And it did crack me up, because I saw on your Facebook later, it's like, I need a beer now, but it's just I've
just done 13 ads, I'm done. It's time for a beer.
You did smash through that was pretty good. But the thing is with anything, practice makes perfect, doesn't it? So I know now, like, it would probably take you half the time to get an ad up, it just becomes a lot easier. So so my next question for you would be, like, how would you describe the tap system? I know we've been talking about it and everything. Like, what would you, if you were speaking to someone that has no idea and just has seen tap and stuff like this, or even not even seen the tap system, like, generally, how would you explain what this is and how it helps? Like, what does it do, kind of thing?
Okay, so for me, it shows me how to educate my target audience, then target that specific audience, and then educate them in, like, why my product is good. Because yes, I believe my product is good, but they don't know the difference between, Hu Flung Dung and Kung Fu and karate and all that kind of stuff. So being able to educate them, and then being able to give them the right copy that does educate them and does sort of make them think, what, I actually want to click the button because I do actually want to learn more, because I've been able to educate that. And I think that part of it, like you say, being able to target the right people at the right time and educate them so that they do make a decision to click the link. That you're going to ask them for their information. And, I think having that, because obviously I read adverts and, it's too long, but it's like, no, you want to educate them. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Was like, Oh, okay. I didn't think I wanted to annoy people. No, you need to educate people so that they want to click the link. And then the second biggest thing for me was the ad manager itself. You know, not like, I think, like I say, you open up ad manager, it's so vast, so massive, and there's so many things you can do. But in actual fact, I only need to know these 9. If I know these 9 things and can do these 9 things really, really good, who cares about all that other crap? You know, because that's all I just need is that. And I think that, because most martial arts guys, you know, or most business guys, they're experts in their field, experts at teaching kids, you know, football, experts at yoga. They're not experts at this, you know, the karate, you know, the computer stuff. And knowing that with the system in place, knowing that, no, you only need to know these 9 things, that's going to get you generate the leads and getting you out there in front of people and all that kind of stuff. I think they would be the 2 biggest things for me, like how to write copy and why to write copy like that, then how to target the right person through that copy, and then not being scared of using ad manager and how to navigate your way around that. I think those 2 things for me were revolutionary in doing this in the last. Now you got to think, it's only been 10 weeks, not even that. You know, it's mad.
It's the amount of growth you're going to experience soon, like as we mentioned, retargeting, all this stuff. Is I can't wait to see it. So,
Yeah.
so just like I'm going to summarize a couple of little things, and then just got 2 more things to ask you. But like in general, like for people that are listening to this, like Tap System, it's called Tap System. Basically, it's a way to get customers into your business. Really, like one of the biggest things that I also see is a lot of businesses, when they experiment with Facebook ads, generating leads is not the hardest thing, really, to be honest, because some people do it, but it's having that consistency. They don't, you know, making it predictable, consistent. They're the 2 biggest things that I think the Tap System helps a lot with. And also having the back end, because like I speak to some people and they say, yeah, I don't really have a problem with leads, but it's getting them to show up, which is where the system, I think, comes in its own as well, on top of showing you that copyright and things. So that's I would say how, because I know someone will probably be thinking, okay, what is it exactly? So exactly, it's just a system that gets you customers, and that's all we need as a business owner, you know. So, but one of the things also I wanted to say is with what let's kind of, I want to give a bit of value as well to people when they're listening to this. Is let's take the Tap System out, for example. Like let's and just say, because all this, depending when someone listens to this, at the moment, there's all that COVID stuff and lockdown, and we're coming out of lockdown, we're going back into it, a crazy world. But I know people probably are a bit unsure as to what they can do to grow their business and grow this school thing. I know Tap System is one way. I'm sure you're experimenting with other things.
Yeah.
What 3 tips would you give to someone, like in the sense of just to give them a bit, if someone just came up to you and say, look, what 3 tips would you give to me, kind of thing?
For me, I think the biggest thing was spend more on your marketing than you think you need to. You know, because, and we would market when we needed to, not consistently market. Is the second one. You know, so have something going out daily, weekly, and spend more money on it than you think you need to. Yeah, they would be the 2 biggest things. And then the third one is don't listen to the news. Get off the news. You guys, some people on my Facebook, you probably saw my rant the other day about, because there's so many people are so negative. Oh, you know, if I do this and if I do that, oh no, what's it? And they're too busy consistently talking about COVID that they're scaremongering themselves into taking action. The way I look at it is, look, if I'm only going to be open for 12 weeks before I get closed down again, I'm going to work my ass off for those 12 weeks and get as many people in as I can. Then when the 2 weeks happens or a week happens or whatever, okay, I'll take the hit, but then, you know, we'll go again and bang again. And I think a lot of people are too busy worrying about what might happen rather than thinking, well, what happens if it doesn't? What happens if actually they don't close us down? Well, then you've wasted all that time and energy worrying about what you could have done rather than what you should have done. And I tell my team that, and I tell all my friends that, like, stop thinking of, you know, if we have to close, we'll close. But I'm not even thinking about it. We're not allowed to talk about COVID at work. We don't discuss it. You know, it's just no. You know, it's one of those ones. We'll find out. You know, we'll get the email like everyone else, and then we'll deal with that. Then up until then, it's just go. And that'd be the three things for me at the moment. You know, get your marketing on point and market more consistently, like Coca-Cola. They don't need to advertise, but they just consistently advertise. It's the same with us. We don't need to have, but just a little bit every single day. Spend more money on marketing than you think you need to. And then third one is don't listen to the news and don't worry about COVID. Just do what you've got to do, because if you're too busy focusing on what you've, when I first went into COVID, I was more focused on what I lost. I was focusing on the 165 members that we'd lost, rather than focusing on what we had and where we could be in the future. So that would be my three tips, I think.
I love your last one. That's so true, because it's the news is made to make you fear. I mean, there was just a bit of knowledge and stuff for people if they haven't seen this. Is there is actually some marketing like psychology. I like psychology stuff. It is marketing.
Yeah.
And there was something that I read where they say news is actually made you to make fear. It's actually a fear-based thing. So news is never happy. If you watch the news, you'll rarely see any happy stuff. So it's a great point, you know. But then people do think that's the world, but it's not. There's people out there, like you've experienced it. You know, I spoke to a few people where they're going, I don't think people want to come and join, or they're not going to come to my business. But that's in your mind. It's like, you're so right. So, I mean, you've kind of proved it in this kind of way.
Yeah. Like, and that's it. You know, you think we've had 432 people join in the last 10 weeks. You know, that's since lockdown opened, you know, and that's just madness. And people are, they don't want to come to your gym. You know, you just got to turn that negative into a positive. And people are looking for that positivity. They want to walk into the dojo, and you're like, yeah, bang, let's do this. You know, or into the kid, or whatever your business is. They don't want to. They're looking to come somewhere where they can feel safe, and that there's a sort of positive environment. And if I'm talking doom and gloom about all that kind of stuff, they're not going to want to come. They come into my place and I'm buzzing, and everyone's buzzing, and everyone's like, COVID, yep, screw COVID, we're doing what we're going to do. And as long as we're keeping everyone safe, we're doing all the hand stuff, and we're keeping it social distancing, we're not allowing people in, there's face masks, and blah, 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 doing all that kind of stuff. But that's scratching, that's to tick the box to make sure it's done. But once you're in the classes, and once we're talking to people like this, where it's all rah-rah time, it's all, no, come on, let's go, let's make it this positive. And I think, and that positivity is obviously rubbed off, because we've been able to get the results that we've got, which is awesome, really.
No, I think the fitness market is actually in the most strongest position than most other niches markets out there, just because people need to look after themselves now, and the news is telling you that as well. So
and it's funny, like I even put in one of the copies. We took it out there, and I know you and I took it out. Like Claire, my wife, she was saying, you can't put that in there. And I'm like, don't be a COVID statistic. You're going to die. Get fit with me now. I thought, oh shit, I can't really put that. It's just like, no.
That's a bit too strong.
Yeah, it's just like, no, don't be a COVID statistic. I'm just like, no, delete. It's just like, okay.
So I've got one last question for you. So, someone who's watching this, if they're on the fence and they're thinking about working with me or anything like that, what would you say to them? What was like how your experience has been, and what would you say to someone that's thinking maybe to even just have a chat?
Spend the money. Yeah, spend the money, do it. Main reason, Ben, is, and you just got to do it. I was apprehensive and and anything like that at all. And I am so glad that I did it. If anyone wants to call me up and go over all that kind of stuff, as like I did with a couple of other boys, and just to check if this is real and all that kind of stuff. I hesitated, and I wish I'd done this years ago. I didn't know you years ago. I didn't know if it was about years ago type thing. But man, if I got these results last 3 years ago and kept building on those results where I am now, 10,000 square foot bloody warehouse or wherever, just to keep all the people in. But no, and there is going to be people thinking, it is a big investment. Yes, it is. But we spoke about this in our call earlier. Out of 432 people, let's say, for example, 200 of those stay for 3 months. 200 people over, 200 people paying 50 quid a month, for example. What's that? 200 times 50. What's that? 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 grand over 3 months, is 30 grand. So, and that's only keeping half of those people for 3 months, and you've made 30 grand. And most experts are going to be watching this. They're going to be, I would say the majority keep people for 6, 9, 12 months. You think I've just put 30 grand into the business straight away, now look at the investment that I paid. I think, well, I've made that back 10, fivefold type thing. So, there's always that magic wand. How much am I actually going to make? Oh, geez, but no, do it. You'll make your money back. I can guarantee you'll make your money back. I know Swap will guarantee you'll make your money back. You're going to get the results. But the thing is, you've got to put the hard work in. You've got to spend the money. You've got to do what you're told. Make sure you spend the money. Keep your marketing going, and it'll come back to you tenfold. And that's why I think I would recommend it, because I've always wanted a marketing guru that's going to help my business and me grow, me personally grow on how to use this sort of stuff. And it's like, I just want Swap, you can come work for me for the rest of my life. That's brilliant. And just build a martial arts empire or a fitness empire around that, really. So spend the money, just do it. Just I recommend it.
I appreciate that. No, that's really, really, thank you for saying all that. Firstly, I don't consider myself a marketing guru. Just going to put it out there.
You are. You are.
No, I appreciate that. So it's just, it's. I think it's just. I get it with anyone. It's when you, especially in the fitness industry, there's so many people out there marketing to you, and I get it as well with because I speak to so many. They're like, I've got like 3 more other people to speak to and this and that. But I get it. There's a lot of marketers out there. So, but this system, it's proven. There's loads of testimonials on it. Richard obviously is one here as well. But if you want to chat, just message me and just send me a message. But I hope you found this video useful, because we wanted to kind of give you some things that you can be doing. I want to finish off with as well with look, if you're thinking about doing Facebook ads but haven't tried it, then please do, just because they're very powerful. And if you was going to concentrate on one bit out of the lot, it would be the copywriting, just because there are different options you can be doing, but the main thing that someone looks at is the copy and the image. So make sure you concentrate on them bits. And just look, even if you just wanted to get started, there's loads of YouTube videos in the day, so look into it. If you don't, it does get a bit crazy, but, I'm here if you need a chat, but just, probably around this video or something, you'll see like a way to have a chat with me. Let's just have a chat, in the day. So, but Richard, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see your results in the next month. By the next month, I'm sure it'll be doubled probably.
It's going to be mad. We're going to be maxed out and be like, no, there's waiting lists. Sorry guys, we can't go. We're full. Cheers, Bob. You're a champion. Thank you ever so much, mate.
Cheers.